Hi all, welcome to the Marquee Matchups for the 1st of November. Plenty to cover as always, so hopefully you find this useful. Let me know in the comments down below what you fancy for the Marquee Matchups for this week. Apologies for having a bit of a disaster. I kind of thought Hearts and Hibs would feature this week featuring, but they featured it last week, which is a bit annoying. So if you can smash like, be awesome, sub to the channel for now. Follow me on Twitter at GZaLegend. All the links are down below for posting the channel and social media links as always. So we start off with the Czech League in the form of Sparta Prague versus Slavia Prague. So it's Prague derby. There's only 3 Czech teams in FIFA, the third one being Victoria Plzeň. There's a decent amount of goals to kind of work with. You've got Kremenek, Kovacic, I think it's the guy that's in goals, Lomberski, and Susel, I can never remember the guy's name. I don't really fancy this personally. There's a decent amount of silver 74s as well. This could easily be like a 69-70 rated route, or they might easily just take it a different direction altogether. Then from there we go to the Bundesliga with Borussia Monchengladbach versus Dusseldorf, which is the Rhineland derby, not as big as Monchengladbach Dortmund, but still a Rhineland derby regardless. Now Dusseldorf are bottom of the league, they recently promoted. Now Dusseldorf got absolutely destroyed by Borussia Dortmund, and honestly, safe to say, and they've also been hammered by Eintracht Frankfurt as well. But for me, this is one of your lower rated another option that you consider. Gold for Monchengladbach could be like Raphael, he's kind of your priority, Hoffman, and obviously like Ginter, those type of players. From here we go to the EPL, where we have Arsenal, Liverpool, or Chelsea, Crystal Palace as your options. Now Arsenal, Liverpool both are fighting for top 4. Arsenal are unbeaten at the moment. They have ran absolute riot for about 11 wins in the trot since the first 2 games of the season that they lost. Liverpool obviously fighting tooth and nail with Chelsea and Manchester City as well. For Arsenal, you'd probably look at your players like Mustafi and Koscielny if you want a high rated. Then from there you'd maybe look at Torreira, Xhaka, then Welbeck, just to kind of give you options. Liverpool, you'd obviously look at Moreno, then Klein, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Origi, Mijonley, and take it from there. Then Turkey, for me this is a 7 out of 10, and for me it feels a strong 7 out of 10. This is the intercontinental derby between 2 big teams in Turkey. Now you've got to remember as well, you need a big standout game, and this is kind of the one that seems to stand out. In Galatasaray, you've got plenty you can kind of work your way around. You can look at Derdiok, you could work from Inan. If you're wanting Fenerbahce, you can go Skirtle, you could go any kind of way you want to look at. Gary Rodriguez is another popular shout. Then guys like Soldado, Negredo, Karius, just to kind of bulk it up and make it work from there. In Ligue 1, you have 3 standout games in the form of Lyon, Bordeaux, Strasbourg, Toulouse, and Nantes versus Guingamp. All 3 are French derbies, according to what I've dug deep on. Like Lyon, you'd look at Tete, Raphael, Marcelo. Bordeaux, you'd look at Sanker and Briand. Strasbourg, you'd look at Lienhard, not Lala because he's an arm and a leg. And then Martin. Toulouse, you'd look at Gradel as an option. Nantes versus Guingamp, you'd look at Lucas Lima. Then you would also look at Salah, who's just had his inform, so be wary of that. Then Guingamp is just a case of taking it for Guingamp is Nolan Roux. I do remember his name for a minute there. And you can also consider Costel for Bordeaux as well. But all 3 I've got as 5 out of 10. But because all 3 are derbies, and because the French League is just recently featured, that's what will go against it. But still be prepared for it regardless. Then the J League is my second shout of the week, being Gamba, Osaka versus Urawa Reds. Now this is a derby between both because there's like a rivalry between them both, and it's a small league option. Now small leagues are always hard to predict. This one could have a little bit of hype. You could, in terms of goals, Fabrizio, the left striker, he plays for Urawa Reds, so right away he is handy for requirements because he's a goal, he's high rated, he's gold, he's Brazilian, and he plays for the team and he's in the league, so you're kind of ticking off quite a lot of requirements right off the bat. Then over to China for another potential option. This one is the one where I'm verging on a 7, but it's a strong 6. This is the national derby in China between Beijing, Guoan and Shanghai, Shenhua. Now, you could go multiple different ways. You could go a mix of Chinese players, you could go a mix of golds, you could go a mix of silvers, you could go a mix of rares, you could go a mix of clubs. There is so many different ways this could potentially go. Now, I've built a 76 rated squad using Carrasco and Hulk, and then just kind of built with a number of golds and silvers in mind, but realistically it is very difficult to prepare for. Then from here we go to my third shout that stands out is Brondby versus Copenhagen. Now with this is the new firm derby and two of the biggest teams in Denmark. Brondby's having a bit of a blip, it seems, this season since losing Pukki, but regardless it's still two big teams. Mukhtar, Savichenko and Zika are 3 of the golds within the league that you can work with, and then from there like Arajuri and Hansen just to kind of bulk, and Endoy just to bulk up your rating. As long as it's a 70 rated squad, you're not going to find yourself too short of being prepared regardless, I would say. That's the way I'm preparing for it. Then Ukraine is my 4th shout of the week. I'm going curveballs. This is the way I'm thinking. They'll either go Shakhtar and Dynamo Kyiv, and the way you kind of prepare this is going like, you could buy the whole league. You could go Verbic, you could go Butko, Pyatov, just to name a few. You could go to some of these players, but you wouldn't go like Marlos, Tyson, those type of options. You'd kind of look at Pyatov, Butko, Morisif. But the reason why I fancy this is because it's Dynamo Kyiv, it's the first year in FIFA, and you always get Shakhtar for years and years and years. This is the one time this could easily just be thrown in and it make it all the more interesting. Now from here, time will tell of course, but for me as a whole, Brondby Copenhagen, Galatasaray Fenerbahce, Urawa Reds, Gamba Osaka, Shakhtar Dynamo Kyiv, with an emphasis on Beijing, Guoan, Shanghai Shenhua and Monchengladbach Dusseldorf. So hopefully you find this useful, folks. Let me know in the comments down below what you fancy for your marquee matchups for this week. Smash like as always, sub to the channel if you're new, follow me on Twitter, GZLegend, and I'll catch you all later.